We will move on to 174 pounds, where we see Jacob Morrisey for Purdue facing off against the number 11 wrestler in the country, Nate Jackson.
Yeah, Nate Jackson, he's always so fun to watch. He's 24-5 on the year. The redshirt junior has really been great. 4 pins, 4-3 in the Big Ten. Great leader for this Indiana team.
Nate Jackson, a very strong wrestler, as you said, has faced off against all kinds of really incredible talent. Has been the only person this year to defeat Penn State's Bo Nickel, who is, even after a loss to Jackson, still ranked number one. He is an absolutely incredible wrestler, but Jackson really held his own, and a quick takedown there, proving once again that he deserves to be in the top 25. Jackson, a very humble wrestler, however. He is always a wrestler by faith, always talking about how he doesn't really, he cares, but he doesn't necessarily think that anything that happens is wrong, because anything that happens is God's way, and it's leading his way, hopefully, to the national tournament, for as he says. And he says every match is just a building block to that point.
And that's a great way to look at it. And these past few matchups haven't been the best for him. He's on a 3-match losing skid, but that is because he has gone up against number 14, Devontae Mahomes from Michigan, number 15, Miles Martin from Ohio State, and then just this past Friday, Alex Meyer, number 10 from Iowa.
So Jackson working inside cradle at the moment. And nothing awarded on that one. A very good opportunity for Jackson to get some points, but they rolled out of bounds. The fan's not really a fan of that one, if you believe that. Jackson will reset on top in referee's position, still leading 4-1 after a minute and a half in the first period.
An interesting thing about Jackson is he actually leads, or he holds a record for most takedowns and most total points in Illinois State Championship history.
Jackson has been a very strong wrestler for a very long time, but Morrisey is not one you want to look past. 13-9 on the season, 4-2 in duels. Had a 17-4 record last season, so he's done his fair share of winning. But I think that Jackson is just going to overpower him in this situation. Those long legs come in so much handy for Jackson. He does wrestle with the legs a lot. This match, we haven't seen it so far, but he really does like to wrestle that way. We've seen a lot more of a cradle-type Jackson this match, which is a little uncommon. Jackson, the redshirt junior, still has another year. Another takedown. He is from Crete, Illinois, now leading 6-2 with 20 seconds left here in the first. As you mentioned, the last 3 matches came to a loss for Jackson, but number 10, 14, and 15 for Iowa, Ohio State, and Michigan, all kinds of incredible strength coming from those programs. But when I was on the call last time, he did talk to us after his tech fall of Josh Snook of Maryland, and he said, this one isn't necessarily a very helpful win for me personally, but it's another stepping stone towards his ultimate goal of being the national champion. And that was really his goal so far this year, is just win it or do nothing. He doesn't want anything less.
Yeah, and in those 3 losses, he probably did learn a lot too, because those are some great wrestlers he was matching up against. So he's right now looking to get a big victory over Morrisey and get back on the winning path.
And I think this is the one where he will get back in the win column, improve to 25-5. He's now sitting at 24-5. A great record from Jackson. Jackson is a lot taller than Morrisey. I think that will come in handy later in the match. He'll probably end up using some leg momentum, or he'll just do that, go for the takedown and have him straight on the back for like a quarter of a second or so, but there will be a chance for Morrisey to build back his base. Jackson looking for advice from Coach Dwayne Goldman. Looks like he's sticking with the potential cradle situations going on, but he is looking at putting some pressure in the arm, breaking him down once again. So Jackson will let him up. So Jackson now leading 8-4 over Morrisey. Morrisey, the redshirt sophomore out of Oconto Falls, Wisconsin, trying to upset the number 11 wrestler in the country, Nate Jackson. Morrisey only had one dual match prior to this season, so he is kind of new to this fight as a team style. Jackson looking for the shot. Morrisey doing a good job of sprawling, but Jackson will get around for the takedown just in time for the buzzer. So leading 10-4 heading into the third period. Jackson will choose neutral. So a lot of good time for Jackson to work on the takedowns or potentially working into a near fall after that. But Morrisey also has an opportunity to do the same. So this could be a fun third period. Morrisey did have 6 pins last season in his 17 wins, so a pretty significant pin percentage of his victories. Of course, I don't think we're going to see a pin against Jackson. Jackson very rarely gets out of position poorly enough to get in a pin, and I think we can assume the same thing today.
Yeah, and it doesn't really look like Jackson will be getting a pin in this one. He has 4 pins on the year, 8 throughout his career at IU, but he's been controlling this matchup so far.
Jackson prefers the major decisions and maybe even tech falls, but broadcaster's curse, it looked like he might have had a chance for a pin there, trying to look for Coach Goldman there for advice. And it will be a 2-point near fall for Jackson. So what looked like a moderately close match has kind of become a runaway with Jackson. And he's got a deep half in there, lost control of the half, but crowd got excited for just a moment. Jackson now leads by 10 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds of riding time. And they were counting for back points, but couldn't quite hold on the shoulder long enough. The referee had about a 1 count going. Jackson looking to extend his lead again, but doesn't need to. He's got the 10 points that he needs for a major decision, so that will be 4 more points for Indiana. So Purdue only leading 15-8 now. Cutting into the lead was Indiana.